Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about books. Are you surprised? Because you shouldn't be. Anyways, sorry, I couldn't help myself. Sometimes I try to hold back the corny side of me, but it just be coming out. Anyways, I wanted to talk books today, specifically dark academia books, because I apparently really like dark academia. I didn't even know that about myself. I've never really been somebody that'll shun an entire subgenre of books just because, but I also didn't know that I enjoyed dark academia so much. I started last year by reading Gothicana, which I do have it here actually. This was the first dark academia book I read last year. Maybe I read something before that, but I really couldn't tell you because I don't remember it. And this was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. It was a page turner for me personally. Like once I was in it, I was in it. It's not a literary masterpiece in my opinion. However, I was able to look past the plot holes to enjoy the story for what it was. There's an aspect of mystery. I don't think it's the thriller at all, but there's definitely something that we don't know, that the main character doesn't know, that we all want to find out. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I do think that there's another book connected to this one coming out. I'm not sure if it's a series because this one didn't really end on a cliffhanger, but the ending also wasn't that clean. If I guess I should say it like that. I'm at a loss for words today, so bear with me, y'all, as usual. So moving from Gothicana, I more recently finished, just a few days ago, I finished The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and before that I had finished Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. Let's go with Lee Bardugo first because this is a book that I tried to read 3 times. Well, 4 technically. 3 times this book got DNF'd to the point where I was like, I don't think that I'm gonna read this. Picked it up on the 4th try and I let myself fall into the story. I let myself be consumed by the story. And then that's when I found myself enjoying it. So I think it's definitely one of those books that you have to devote the attention to. Me personally, I'm new to reading multiple books at the same time. So for this book, it was the only thing I was reading till I finished it. I could not read anything else because it would distract me to the point where I didn't think I wanted to finish. So the 4th time around, I finally finished it. It's really good. The only reason that I can't say it's 5 stars, I can't say I loved it, it's the perfect story, is because there's no content warnings. And this is going to be a spoiler. So if you haven't read Ninth House and you want to, no spoilers. Please do not listen to this part. I'll do a timestamp to let you know when I'm done talking about it. As if you don't mind spoilers, small ones that aren't really plot spoilers, to be honest, then you can go ahead and listen to this. But again, you don't want spoilers, do not listen to this. I warned you. I gave you some time. All right, for those of you that are still here and you don't care about the spoiler, it's not a big spoiler. It doesn't ruin the plot or anything like that. It just is something that happens to the FMC Alex when she's 12 years old. And it's a couple of pages. It's not just a paragraph or two. It's a couple of pages of essay that was attempted against Alex. And I can't honestly tell you what came of that scene because I skimmed it. As soon as I realized what was going on, I started skimming until it ended and she was finally back with her friend and an adult that she felt safe with. But I can tell you that the reason this isn't 5 stars is because there's no content warnings. Sorry, controversial take coming. People who are content warnings are spoilers. You don't have to read it. You don't have to read that page. If you exercise self-control, you can skip that page and you can keep going to the next one and the story starts and you have no idea what the content warnings are. Better yet are the authors who put the content warnings in the back or give you a QR code to scan and go look them up. I have done that on multiple occasions because I know that there are certain topics that do bother me. And there's 2 scenes of essay. One of them is against Alex as a child and the other is against an adult. There's a lot of substance abuse, there's self-harm, a lot of violence in this book, and it wouldn't have cost anything. It wouldn't have taken away from the book to have content warnings. Back, front, QR code, whatever you want. Just to let people know, hey, this is what's in the book. Decide if you want to embark on this journey or not. Despite that, I thankfully had Lou, who had read the book, and she was able to tell me, yeah, it's going to happen again. It's going to be a little bit worse the second time around too. Just keep your eyes out. If it wasn't for her, I probably would have DNF'd. As soon as I realized what was going on, I would have DNF'd. But I reached out to her. She let me know they're short, even though it's a couple of pages. There's another one coming. You can kind of, And I was so grateful because because I had someone to warn me, even though I kind of caught it before I got warned, but because I had her as a support for this book, I was able to keep reading it. And when it happened the second time, I skimmed it. I skimmed it. If there is something triggering in a book, but I'm still enjoying the story, I will skim that. There's no need for me to read it, especially when there's nothing important being said. Like, the plot isn't being furthered by this really graphic, violent scene that is making my stomach turn. It's just there for like shock value. I don't know, but that's my only quarrel with Ninth House. And so if you're back with me now, that means I'm done talking about the spoiler and you can keep listening. I really liked this story. Despite the fact that it doesn't have content warnings, I enjoyed the writing so much. I was feeling what I was reading. And it sounds like kind of dramatic, but when Alex was like stressed, I felt myself being like, oh my God, I'm so anxious right now. What is occurring? How do we get out of this? And it was because of the writing. And I mean, the FMC herself, Alex, is very real, gritty, morally ambiguous. She just wants to survive. She just wants a better life for herself. And she really does exist in that gray. And I appreciated it so much because I feel like lately our FMCs especially, but our main characters are very like, they want to do good. They want to beat this guy because he's bad. They want to achieve that because that would help everybody. Alex was selfish. She wanted a better life for herself. She wanted to be comfortable. She wanted to not live in fear. And it was for her. Of course, you know, she does have emotional attachments to other characters, which motivate her to want to do certain things correctly, let's say, but she is not passing somebody up to get what she wants. And I love that. I love a character who is real, who feels real to me, who doesn't feel so fictional, I guess. And I know it's fiction, but you know what I mean. So this was a fantastic story, and the side characters in this are amazing. I love Dawes. I think I love Dawes more than I like Alex, and I love Alex. But Dawes, she's pretty cool. She's pretty badass. Ninth House also does a great job of examining power and privilege when it comes to the university setting, because the story takes place at Yale. So it's an Ivy League campus here in the States. And, you know, you do have a lot of people, especially those in these secret societies, who they come from pretty cushy backgrounds. They're very affluent beings, and they're able to get away with things that literally, I can't imagine anybody getting away with that, except for people like that, who have the money to pay off whatever it is that's coming for them. So it's basically Alex, who's very real, very gritty, you know, I guess she's a regular human being, going up against these people who have a ton of money and a ton of privilege and power, and trying to right certain wrongs, but at the same time, she just is trying to live a better life. She just wants to have a better life for herself. And I just thought it was fantastic. I thought it was fantastic. I think it's deep enough where you're going to pick up on certain themes. They might even hit home for you, but it's not so deep where you're like, what is being said? Because I don't understand these words. I don't think it's like that at all. But I really hope that Hellbent kind of keeps in line with Ninth House. And I do think there's a third book. I'm not sure. Sometimes I get my authors confused in series, but I really hope that Hellbent turns out well. And I am praying that Hellbent isn't nearly as graphic when it comes to certain things as Ninth House was. I'm hoping that because this was the first book and it's introducing us to everything, including the FMC's background, I'm hoping that all of that kind of stays concentrated in here, and Hellbent is more focused on the things that were occurring towards the end of the book that I'm more interested in. So, Ninth House, Dark Academia, elite secret societies on an Ivy League campus. It is gritty as fuck and dark as hell, but I really enjoyed this one. Now, more recently, I finished The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I don't know how to say his name. It was so good. It's so good. It's a psychological, dark academia, gothic thriller. There's references to Greek mythology. There is like a secret society, but I would say it's like a cult. There is a cult-like aspect to this book, and I thought it was great getting to like deep dive into that cult mindset within the story while we're also trying to figure out this like murder mystery serial killer still going on the rampage. It was fantastic. Now, I have very little to say that isn't positive about this book except for the end. Just the ending. The twist, I kind of saw the twist coming. Like, I saw an aspect of the twist coming, but then the way it twisted, I was like, that's weird. And I was buddy reading this with Sheldina, and she made a really good point. When you break down the twist at the end and what it really means as far as like, I'm trying not to give it away, but if you break down the twist at the end, there's an aspect of grooming to it. And when she pointed that out, I was like, oh my God, I can't unknow that. I can't unknow that now. It's a little weird in my opinion. I didn't love the twist, and the ending just felt really rushed because once you get the twist, it basically ends the story at that point. But I enjoyed the writing style. I loved the dialogue. The dialogue was like, it just always had my heart racing because I needed to know what was going to be said next. Like, who are you going to incriminate yourself? Are you going to give this person away? Like, I needed more information, and the dialogue really, really gave me that feeling of like, oh my God, edge of my seat. I loved it. The writing was fantastic. There was not a lot of flowery writing. The things weren't being overly described, which, I don't love that. I do not like that at all. And there weren't a lot of big words used. I do think that with Dark Academia, a part of the reason why maybe I haven't picked it up, because it was my fear when I first picked up Ninth House, actually. Sometimes I fear that authors go a little too hard trying to make something sound academic to the point where I, as a regular human being who is smart but isn't the smartest person in the entire world, of course, spend more time looking up the definition to words than I do actually reading the book. And that's a huge turnoff for me. None of these books that I'm talking about did that. None of them. Obviously, there are words that I was like, what does that mean? But it didn't happen so often where I got annoyed. And with this one especially, because it's so short, I think it's like 330 pages or something. Because it's so short, and it really does have you kind of like, it strings you along, really drags it out until it feeds you the twist, basically. I think that helped me stay engaged and stay like interested in what was going on, despite the fact that I didn't like the FMC. I didn't like her. She seemed really whiny in like a selfish way, and I didn't love that. But I also thought it was kind of cool how she used her background in psychiatry, well, psychology, I should say, to solve the mystery that was going on in this book. But it also bothered me because you're a psychologist and you didn't see that twist coming. Like, make it make sense. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. These are all three of the books I've mentioned, especially Ninth House and The Maidens. They really do take the dark academia and like gothic themes to the next level. I think that it was a lot of fun to read these, and they have inspired me to read more dark academia because I'm just really enjoying it right now. And right now fantasy isn't like really cutting it. I think I'm just fantasied out. But so what I want to read next are The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Everybody and their mother says that this is like the OG of dark academia, so I'm going to be reading this relatively soon. I have a few books I want to finish, but then this is up next. And I think I'm going to enjoy it because it's set in New England, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like a New Hampshire campus, whatever. It's set in New England, I know that, and I live in New England. You'll see in my vlog, this is actually the second time I bought this book. The first time I got it, it had like sprayed edges, and I don't like sprayed edges, apparently. I just realized that about myself recently. So I got a regular, normal paperback copy of this, and I'm really excited for this one because this one I think has like roots in like Shakespearean something or other. I don't know. It's giving old-timey dark academia thriller, so I'm excited for this. That's what I'm on right now. That's my new hyperfixation right now. It's dark academia and gothic. If it's gothic and dark academia, I love it because I feel like there is such a thing as dark academia that isn't necessarily gothic. It's just dark. But gothic for me comes through in the writing, like describing the scenery, describing people's, like the way they dress, describing their moods and their attitudes. That's where I get the gothic-ness. That's not a word. That's where I get the gothic feeling from in these stories. It comes from the descriptions of certain things, whereas the dark academia is just you're in a school setting and dark is happening, basically. So I'm really eating it up, and I'm so sorry that I gushed at you for so long about not even like a genre. It's like a sub. Is it a subgenre? Because it would technically be a subgenre, a subgenre of a lot of other things, right? I'm going to be quiet now. Yeah. All right. So those are some of the fantastic dark academia reads I've had recently, and two that I plan on adding to the TBR and reading very, very soon, actually. I would love if I could get to them this month, but it's the 24th, so I don't see that happening, to be honest. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations for dark academia, gothic stories. They don't necessarily have to be thrillers. They don't necessarily have to be fantasies. I'm just looking for the vibes. I want the feeling of like, oh my God, something's watching me, and we're in a school setting. I'm really eating up the school setting for some reason. So let me know if you have any recommendations. And as always, thank you for watching and happy reading.